Alright, this is Calibos, and we're playing Project Ozone 3. So, one of the things that I'd like to do is get a little bit of automation going as far as the smeltery and fluids and stuff. And sadly, we are going to need to wait for some of this iron. Or are we? Watch this magical trick. So we go, ta-da, we have lead. Go us. Now, this is also going to need a little bit of redstone on our behalf. I think we need 3 or 4 or something like that. I don't know. Who can say? Who can say? So, we're also going to need, let's see, we got some lead. That's exciting. How about some tin? Maybe a little bit of invar. Let's say some steel. You know, if we had some glass, we could throw some glass in here too, just to liven this up. Why don't we do that? What's sand? Do we have sand? I'm sure we have sand. You know, let's automate a couple of things while we're at it. So, we could do a whole bunch of things. So one of the things that I would really... Zirconium. I had sand in here somewhere. One of the things that I could really get behind in the near future would be some way to automate dealing with some of this nonsense. This nonsense here, like converting cobble into whatever. But we'll work on that. First, let's figure out how we're going to start automating lava. Because in a lot of skyblocks, lava is actually the key to all of your beginning game stuff. So sure, you can, you know, it's the key to all your fast game stuff. So, I mean, sure, you can typically make cobblestone from whatever, and you get wood and trees and stuff like that. But once you get to the Stone Age, and that is by definition in a skyblock, any age where most of your production and building materials are stone instead of wood, you need better stuff as far as that goes. So, there's still crop sticks on me. Who knew? Who knew? There. So, what we'd like to look into are item ducts, and we also want to look into, now these are in thermal foundation. I kind of like thermal foundation. We also want to look into servos. So let's go ahead and look at servos really quick. So servos are pretty simple to build. We're only going to need a couple of them. Let's see if our glass is done. Looks there was a plant. I know it's weird. Don't get alarmed, guys. I'm just going to assume that we need 3 servos off the top of our head. Yeah, I think we need 3. So we're going to need some item ducts really quick. Now, item ducts are pretty simple. I like opaque item ducts because, well, I'm just not interested in having to look at everything. On top of, I am concerned about lag issues. Now, typically my system is actually not so bad. So we're just going to get rid of this. Did we get it? I don't think that we did. My system is not actually all that bad. So, I mean, for the most part, lag is not really a problem for me unless there is something grievously wrong with the pack. Oh, man. Anybody know what happened to my hopper? I think my hopper has hopped off. I'm just going to assume that it is gone because I do not see it anywhere. So, I might be able to do this with a stick. We used to be able to do this with a stick. We'll have to make a wrench. Let's make a wrench because You must stay in control of things. So in thermal, the wrench is what? The crescent hammer? Crescent hammer. Alright, we got this. Got this, guys. Don't panic yet. I know it's me saying this, so it seems like it should be a time to panic, but we've probably got a couple of seconds at the very least before anything goes wrong. Let's make some more of these. So the idea is, if we do this and we come up with some weird container or something, I don't know. And then we do this. Then we do this. So what we did was, this is an item duct. It moves specifically items. And this servo, which we put on the pipe against the container, servos go against the container, pull stuff out of the container. The redstone control basically said, I told it to ignore all redstone control, which means it will work regardless of everything. It's got a three slot list here, and so anything I put into the list, it will not pull out. So that is what the blacklist does. Now, if I click the blacklist button, it will only pull out what's in the list. And this is stack size. So these are all important things. And you're asking yourself, why do we care? Well, for those of us who are exceptionally lazy, we can go ahead and say, I don't know, take these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we can stand up here and we can go, man, if only the sand would just magically appear in the sieve. Wow, clearly I have fucked this up. Sorry about my language. I have messed this up. It looks like it should be working. Oh, nope, it's working. It's just very slow. Okay, so as you see, it works. Now, it's not super fast. The higher the level of the servo on there, the faster it works. And the faster it moves through the pipes. So the servo imparts a base speed. And then there's a couple variations on the basic pipes that you can use to make them even faster. There is, however, a limit. Anyway, all that aside, so that's items. Now, if you want to, you can actually also move liquids. So if I were to go ahead and say, let's go straight to the ducts. The duct, fluid duct. So fluid ducts are very simple. Now, the difficulty is this fluid duct here, we'll say this one, copper and lead, holds fluids. However, if you hold shift, it says will break if contents are extremely hot or cold. I basically never use these for that reason. You can move water in it, no big deal, but they will break, no kidding. But you can go ahead and make hardened fluid ducts, and you just take Invar and lead. So conveniently, I accidentally made a bunch of Invar. And it was accidental, I promise. I had no desire to make Invar at the time I was making it. But what this does for us is if we go ahead and do a silly thing like that, a silly thing like that, and they work very much the same way. they work very much the same way that the item ducts do. Now, for best effort, what I should be doing here is having a separate crucible for this source, to source into this, and a separate crucible for this, because these are going to be mutually exclusive goals. This is going to fill up and immediately dump all lava that goes into it, and it's going to take a while. Like, it's going to require 2,000 obsidian before it gets anywhere near where it's going, which is, let's see, 2,048 obsidian is 2,048 buckets of lava. Which means this is going to be a problem, because I will run out of lava long before that thing fills up. So, this is basically an example of how this works. So I can just go ahead and switch this to high. So now it requires an actual redstone signal to work, and I can do shiny things like this. So if we come over here, we'll notice that this is filling. But if I turn this off, this stops filling, and this does fill. So one of the things that you can do if you want to evenly disperse stuff is basically have it do what I usually do, is have all your lava go into an ender tank. Now, we don't have any ender tanks right now, but we could probably get some eventually. But what an ender tank does is, you'll notice that it has like 3 little white dots on the top. So that's like a combination lock. If you have 2 of them with the same combination lock, regardless of where they are in whatever dimension, they have the same inventory. That's the chests and the tanks. It's pretty cool. So what I like to do is I'll have all of my lava pumping into a giant storage unit, like a drum. Specifically, I like these drums because they're silly big. They hold 65 million millibuckets or something like that. It's a lot. And so I'll pump all of my lava into one of those, and then I'll have it drawing from one of those into an ender tank, and then wherever I need lava later, I just pull from an ender tank local, so I don't have to have pipes everywhere. That means my lava is available at whatever dimension or whatever I need it to be on. So it's a pretty cool setup, and I do that with items as well. If you've watched any of my other series, you'll know, and I'll explain it as we get there. But meanwhile, while we've been talking, this is filling up. I'm actually going to turn this on because we're not as worried about this right now. We definitely have stuff that we want to begin smelting down over here. You notice we've already smelted down platinum and a couple of things. We'll probably get into gold and whatnot. And there's a couple of other things that we need to do. If you'll recall, we have a platinum pickaxe now. But what that means for us is we need to go to the nether. So you may or may not be aware, flint and steel. Flint and steel. We cannot make steel ingots very easily. But there are other ways around it. Fire charges, for example. Everybody forgets fire charges. Except for the people who made this pack. Salutes to you guys. 'Cause clearly you did not forget it. But that's okay, because I'm a long-term vanilla player, and I don't care. I can work around it anyway. Because I do. This is just making weird noises all over the place. So, just gonna do the thing. That has got to be this hunting dimension frame. I'm telling you, that is just weird. So one of the reasons to not have you know, your base made out of wood. This is a thing that you clearly need to be aware of as an issue. Is lava. So lava is very, very central to the whole Stone Age issue. There's a vanilla cobble gen, which basically you have a setup kind of like this. Then you have like water over here with a little drop so that the water doesn't flow into your lava. And what happens is the lava spreads till it reaches the water, and then there's no fire happening here. That's weird. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is probably the smart thing here. So we're gonna pick this up. You know, we're only gonna be reasonably smart. We're not gonna be totally smart, just reasonably smart. How's that, guys? So we'll see if fire tick. I have no idea if I did that right. So if you just type like game rule like I did, it shows you all of the game rules. So fire tick is all capitalized. And they're typically true or false. So theoretically, here's what I'm hoping will happen. I'm just going to leave this going, and the cobblestone here will contain it. There's nothing really flammable. I have no idea if this hunting dimension frame is flammable or not. I guess I'm going to find out. I don't really care. I just don't. But if this wood catches on fire, and we're going to experiment a little bit with different materials. I think hay and wool also catch on fire fairly easily, so maybe it would be easier with wool. What I expect to happen... Where did I get the pumpkin? What I expect to happen is that... when things catch on fire, they will it will spread, and if the fire spreads correctly, then the portal will light, and if it doesn't light, then it doesn't light, and that's fine. But in the meanwhile, what we will do is come down here. Oh, You know, it's all stone, and I shouldn't be, but I'm kind of worried about setting on fire. So it didn't do it. I wonder if they've disabled the fire. Like, we'll see. Either way, that's pretty much how stuff is expected to happen. We'll turn this off again. We have enough obsidian care. The moment when that's full, we can do whatever. It'll fill up. Meanwhile, there's a lot of stuff we can do. So, next step on our little program of doom here. Looks like we've got a good bit of stuff going there. Next step on our little program of doom. Aha! Check it out. Fire! So this should... Ta-da! Ender portal. This probably violates the spirit of the pack. But... yeah. I remember when a skyblock was unmodded. Like Sky Island. I think that's what it was called. Was a guy who basically made a map where he deleted sections of the world, made a specific island, and saved it. And you basically started the game, and you loaded a specific world that was set up, and you had to go look for stuff and figure out how to vanilla farm everything. And in order to get to the Nether to get iron and gold and stuff like that, you had to figure out how to make fire charges and you know, set stuff up. So, ta-da, Nether. I don't even know what episode this is. What is this? Episode 14. Of course. Nether portal. I would like to point out, in case anybody cares, blazes. As in, what in the... Let's look that way. And that is a magma slime island, which is a very nice find. So, first steps first, let's go over to that way. Let's also... portal. It doesn't really matter a whole heck of a lot in the Nether to be lighting torches, but it makes me feel better, and really that's kind of what this is all about. To be quite frank, I could have been to the Nether much sooner using the methods that we used, but my assumption was that I would need fairly good tools. Now, there is a bit of an awkward thing. A, I don't bring food. B, does anybody else remember exactly the height you can fall before you die? In case you were wondering, I do believe it is approximately, apparently I have an idea, 21 or 23 blocks. That is not 23 blocks. That is, however, a wither skeleton. So, everybody ready to watch me die? It's a great way to lead off end off an episode. All right. So, the mark here is fortress. I think that we can get rid of some of the cobblestone. I think that we can also get rid of that. I think we can probably get rid of that. Could probably get rid of that. Probably get rid of that. I don't specifically have anything that I'm looking for in a fortress, but we're here. Food might actually not be a bad idea. So I wasn't really prepared to come. I don't really have a lot of inventory space or containers or things. So we're just going to call it here, and that seems fine. And I will pop home and sort out some of the rest of it as we need to. We can do some quick exploring, see about ores and stuff like that. Maybe look into getting a blaze spawner. I will probably want to go get a drop of evil or something like that, so I can go grab a blaze spawner and take it with me. But I really appreciate the fact that you guys showed up. So, on a cool note, I have no idea how many subscribers I will have, or followers, or whatever they're called, when you watch this video. But at the time I'm recording, I have 48, which means I am 48 more than I had when I started. So that's a good number. And I'm almost to 50, which would be another new record for me. In fact, every subscriber is a new record for me. Isn't that sad? I mean, it's cool and sad and stuff, but I'm having fun with this. So it's been, I don't know, couple 6 months now. I think I started in September, October, something like that. I forget exactly, but it's beginning to near the end of March, and I've put out quite a few things. I'm up to, at the time of recording, I've just finished recording 110 episodes of Enigmatica 2. I have the Towncraft one, which didn't go very far. Project Ozone 3, which is what I'm recording now. And there was another one I can't remember off the top of my head. But, so yeah, I'm still having fun with this. I hope I'm getting better. We'll see. But, if you liked it, leave a like. If you don't. Tell me what I did wrong I could make better. Let's see if we can get there. Yeah, I hope you guys come back, keep catching episodes with me. I really appreciate the fact that anybody cares what I'm doing. That's still a little weird. So yeah, thanks for coming. Have a good night.